Now on 4 News Now at 6, a convicted killer back in jail for allegedly attacking 2 women. Why the first assault was not enough to put him back behind bars.
We have wet and windy weather on the way. I'll let you know whether it will be rain or snow in your first alert forecast.
And police are sounding the alarm over the rise of teen boys being blackmailed online. What police say you can do to protect your kids from online predators. You're watching 4 News Now at 6.
We start with breaking news out of Lincoln County right now. A highway is closed because of a crash.
WashDOT says a fuel tanker rolled over on Highway 174 between Wilbur and Grand Coulee. There's a minor spill there. If you look at your screen, we have some new photos just into the newsroom from WashDOT. It looks like this stretch of highway, as far as we know, will be closed until at least 7 o'clock tonight.
WashDOT says another fuel tanker is on the way to pump out what's left of the fuel in the wrecked semi. A detour is in place. Well, this man, Avonde Graham, a convicted killer, was released from prison in October of last year. Now, 4 months later, he's accused of assaulting 2 more women. In 2012, Graham spent almost a decade in prison for killing Charlotte McGill while she was walking her dog on the Centennial Trail. He's also accused of attacking 2 more women on the trail following that murder.
Graham, 17 at the time, pleaded guilty to avoid trial. Our Emily Bloom is live in downtown Spokane, where one of these recent alleged attacks happened, to explain how this man was able to commit more crimes.
Graham was released from prison just 4 months ago. In that time, he has both beaten up his girlfriend, and now he's being accused of attacking a stranger in the downtown Spokane area, right where we're at right now. He was under DOC supervision at that time. Police say Graham punched his girlfriend in the face 10 times back in November. He turned himself in and posted a $5,000 bond. Fast forward 2 months, and Spokane police are now saying he attacked a woman on the sidewalk of Stevens and Main. Detectives say he asked for a cigarette. She said no. Then he offered her $1,400 in exchange for sexual favors. She said no. Charging documents say Graham struck her and kicked her numerous times in the head and face till witnesses came running to help. The victim needed stitches under her eye and had a broken eye socket, and he left a shoe print in her face. Police say they used a photo lineup, witness statements, and video footage to identify Graham as the attacker. According to the DOC, 96% of people sent to prison in Washington will eventually get out. That's about 8,000 people per year. 11.2% of those will go back to prison within a year. When it comes to violent crime, the Prison Policy Institute says 25% of those offenders will be rearrested for violent crimes, which is lower than drug crimes or property crimes. That's due in part to the fact that people who commit violent crimes serve longer sentences, and many are elderly when released, if they're released at all. Graham still is and has been under DOC supervision till next year for the previous murder conviction. The DOC knew about the November arrest, and it did violate his terms of release, but instead of being held, his supervision period was extended. Graham's bail is now set for $120,000, and he'll be arraigned on the 14th. Reporting live in Spokane, Emily Bloom, 4 News Now.
Emily, thank you. Breaking news out of South Hill tonight. A man is recovering after being stabbed several times overnight. Police tell 4 News Now it happened a little before 11 o'clock last night. They say that man was found near a gas station on 44th and Regal. He was rushed to a hospital for treatment. Police searched the area, but no arrests have been made. Well, the wind out there really got my hair blowing around. It's going to get a little wetter, it sounds like.
Mine too.
Yeah.
Mine too. But will we be getting rain, or is it going to be a snow, or is it going to be maybe a little bit of both? We'll send it over to Chief Meteorologist Chris Crocker. She has your first alert forecast.
A little bit of snow, but a lot of rain and even windier weather, I'm afraid, on the way for tomorrow. Temperatures will be starting out above freezing around the region, but you may encounter some snow mixing in with the rain at the onset on Tuesday. That will be turning all to rain, though, very, very shortly. High temperatures will be in the lower 40s, above our average high of 37. The winds will really be picking up as well. Here's our chance of precipitation throughout the day, and it's a little bit lower at the time where we might see some snow mixing in, and then jumps up to 100% right before noon and through the afternoon, finally tapering off a little bit by this time tomorrow night. Meanwhile, Meanwhile, it is going to be a breezy night around the region. Here's our forecast wind gusts. Wind gusts up to 20, 25 miles per hour in the overnight. Then they'll be picking up tomorrow morning. Here's 7 o'clock tomorrow evening. We will see those winds peaking in the late afternoon and evening in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. Not a very pleasant Tuesday. In the short term, we have a few isolated light showers around the region right now. This would be a great time if you need to run the garbage can out to the curb or walk the dog. We're going to be staying dry this evening with patchy fog and temperatures fairly mild in the 30s. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Chris, thank you. Well, we showed you this video last week. The man who was rescued in the video after his boat capsized in Western Washington has been arrested now for stealing that yacht. He's also been linked to a crime involving the home featured in a classic 1980s film. So the man you see here being carried off of the helicopter by the Coast Guard is 35-year-old Jericho Labonte from Victoria, British Columbia. He was taken to a hospital for mild hypothermia, and he was discharged before investigators in Astoria, Oregon saw the rescue and the video and recognized him as a person of interest in one of their cases. They say Labonte covered the security cameras and left a dead fish at a home featured, as you see on your screen, that's the Goonies. He's also wanted for crimes in Canada, but officials say they were not serious enough to warrant extradition.
Well, be prepared for a little more congestion when driving on I-90 through Kellogg, Idaho. The freeway will be reduced to one lane in each direction as crews rebuild the westbound overpass at Division and Elizabeth Park. Construction is set to last until October. Well, it's a gut-wrenching scheme that's sweeping the nation. Online predators are convincing victims to send intimate photos or videos of themselves and then threatening to share those photos unless they receive payment.
It's known as sextortion, and the age group that's often the target of these attacks, teenage boys. KXLY's Jordan Smith spoke with police about how common this is becoming and what you can do to keep your kids safe.
Yeah, Aaron, Kirsten, the Department of Justice reported that there were over 3,000 minors who fell victim to sextortion schemes just last year alone. The majority of them teenage boys. And as we learned today, Spokane is not immune to this deplorable scheme. It's happening every day. Predators are collecting intimate photos from unsuspecting victims and using them as blackmail for money. One particular group continues to be a target.
The most common demographics that are targeted are young teenage males.
Corporal Nick Briggs with Spokane Police says it happens across all platforms, whether it be Facebook, Snapchat, even online video games. As long as the platform has direct messaging, the predator has an avenue to extort their victims. In many instances, they'll pose as a teen girl or woman and lure in victims that way.
That fake account, that suspect account, gets these teenagers to send them explicit videos or photographs.
Oftentimes, the victims are asked to share an image with their faces in them. Thinking nothing of it, they'll send them, and from there, the blackmail begins.
It happens more often than we'd like. SPD, we get reports at least on a monthly basis, if not more.
But they largely go unreported, victims feeling ashamed or embarrassed to share what happened. And because these predators are often acting from overseas, there's not much that can be done as far as consequences go. But Corporal Briggs says this crime could cease to exist if people didn't provide these scammers with their intimate photos. Prevention, he says, starts with education.
No one should be sending intimate images out or videos out to anybody that they don't know on the internet. That is the huge red flag. Having that dialogue with, between parents and children so that they know what predatory behavior is.
And Briggs stressed the importance of having open communication with your kids, and he also suggested having access to your kids' social media accounts, especially if they're in their early teens. And if someone does end up getting swept up in this scheme, it may feel embarrassing, but you are urged to report this to police and not pay those scammers money. He says that almost never alleviates the problem, and those predators end up asking for more. Aaron, Kirsten?
Jordan, thank you. Washington ranks 5th in the nation for the amount of white supremacy propaganda spread.
What some lawmakers want to do to crack down on domestic extremism coming up. And the threat of toxic gas spreading from this derailed train has forced families in Ohio to leave their homes. What sparked the evacuation order? Coming up.
And search and rescue operations are still underway in Turkey and Syria following a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. What's making these missions so dangerous? Next on 4 News Now at 6.
4 News Now on your time with Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. Save your green!
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see. Don't need glasses. See us for your contacts and save on your annual supply.
Spokane and North Idaho's country leader. It goes like one margarita.
Bluebird in my heart.
Baby, you're playing hard to forget. The big 99.9 Coyote Country.
Hi, I'm Ron.
And I'm Shelley.
At Rosenberg Construction, we build some of the most beautiful custom homes in North Idaho.
Like our spectacular spec home, now for sale at the club at Rock Creek, Coeur d'Alene's newest private golf course filled with stunning natural beauty. Our custom homes are furnished and designed with you in mind.
For our clients looking for that unique, one-of-a-kind piece of furniture, we always recommend Consign Furniture in Liberty Lake.
From great rooms to dining rooms to master suites, Consigned Furniture is sure to turn any house into a home.
It's February here at Mainstream, and that means you can stay warm with our February Furnace Special, where you can fall in love with a free furnace when you purchase a new air conditioning unit. Let us provide your family with comfort and happiness this February. Call or visit Mainstream to find out more.
Hi, I'm Chris with Clark's Tire and Automotive. Right now is the best time to get your vehicle in to get it checked over. Come on in for a free winter inspection. We're going to check your brakes, shocks, struts, tires, air filter, wiper blades, and your heating and cooling system to make sure you're winter ready. If you can't make it into one of our shops, give us a call. We now have a mobile service. We offer a 2-year, 24,000-mile parts and labor warranty. We support our local law enforcement, our schools, our nurses and doctors, and we're here to support you. Come and try us out. We are a friendly neighborhood service repair center.
At Washington Trust Bank, can't is a 4-letter word.
I think I'll sell my veggies at the market.
Do you even remember to water the house plants? I do this?
You can do this.
Hey, we need to build a home office. We're adding another bathroom.
I think I'll study programming.
Bro, you even connect your phone to Bluetooth.
We believe you can do whatever you set your mind to, and we'll help you get there. Washington Trust Bank, privately owned, locally invested.
What you see is important. That makes quality eye care important too. Get personalized care from experienced optometrists at Shopko Optical. Better eye care. You'll see.
Shopko Optical welcomes more insurance plans than ever. Call to book an exam and verify coverage.
Search and rescue efforts are still underway after a 7.8 magnitude earthquake toppled buildings across Turkey and Syria. As of now, at least 3,400 people have been killed, and we do want to warn you, some of the images you're about to see are graphic and maybe hard to watch.
Isabel Rosales reports on the precarious search for survivors and the one factor making the search all the more dangerous.
From under the dust and rubble, a small hand reaches out. Volunteer white helmet rescuers pulling out a Syrian boy from the debris, alive. Their frantic search for life is not enough.
We need help, we need support, from immediate support from anyone who can support us.
The catastrophic 7.8 magnitude earthquake collapsing buildings as people slept in bed. The U.S. Geological Survey predicts the death toll could rise by the thousands based on the location of the quake in Turkey and Syria. It's one of the strongest to hit the region since 1939.
We're not ready to deal with something like this. It's bigger than us and bigger than any NGO operating in northwest Syria to handle this disaster.
Survivors unable to go home, taking shelter wherever they can find, even in cars.
If you want to say hello to my kids.
But strong aftershocks complicating the search for those trapped, the biggest of them measuring a powerful 7.5 magnitude. International help is on the way. Several countries are donating money, equipment, and manpower as rescuers dig for any signs of life. I'm Isabel Rosales reporting.
Turkey's president has declared 7 days of national mourning. Spain has announced it's sending a group of 85 specialists to Turkey to help with search and rescue operations.
High temperatures today above average, and that is the trend through most of the 7-day forecast. 41 our high today. We started the day off right at freezing. Our average morning low is down in the 20s. Sunset almost 5 o'clock. It will be in the 5 o'clock hour starting tomorrow. It's going to be a rainy day, though. I'll tell you all about it after the break.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Falcos.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for cash, as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Magical moments. Snowy adventures. Warming up. Making memories. A winter wonderland. The perfect close-by getaway this winter is Coeur d'Alene, Idaho. Find countless ways to play and plan your escape at cdawinter.com.
You may be eligible for a new tax refund called the Working Families Tax Credit from the Washington State Department of Revenue. Those who qualify could get up to $1,200 back. Visit workingfamiliescredit.wa.gov.
Living in the Inland Northwest has its advantages, and one of those is working with amazing people who dedicate their time and efforts to help others. STCU's Volunteers Count is a program to say thank you for this service and inspire others to give back too. Please tell us about a volunteer at a local nonprofit that inspires you. Go to KXLY.com/volunteerscount and nominate them. Help us showcase those people who give of their time and truly make a difference. Volunteers Count, brought to you by 4 News Now and STCU.
When it's time to replace that old furnace or water heater, your choice of contractor is obvious. Give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. Bill's Heating installs the top brands and always offers a low price guarantee. And now, you can take part in the Zags Win You Win promotion. If the Gonzaga Bulldogs win the 2023 National Championship, all eligible equipment purchased before March 15th will be refunded. Call Bill's Heating today or visit the website for official contest rules.
Some ideas seem good, but aren't.
Maybe she could sell her house.
What could go wrong?
Like listing your house, then dealing with all the trouble, expense, not to mention closing costs. We Buy Ugly Houses can buy your house fast for cash, as is with no hassle. Call or click to sell quick.
Here are 4 things to know about your weather. It is going to be a wet and windy Tuesday. A rain-snow mix possible in the mornings, mainly in the valleys of northeast Washington and north Idaho. I would not expect any accumulation, perhaps less than an inch, but in general, you'll have to go above 3,000 feet to find any accumulating snow. It is going to be windy on Wednesday, too, but drying out, and our above-average temperatures continue for the time being. I do see an end in sight to that coming. Clouds and fog tonight, 35 degrees for an overnight low. For tomorrow, wet and windy, 41 for a high, so just as warm as today. Wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Very unpleasant day. Our forecast radar shows some isolated showers this evening, mainly north and east of Spokane. By 6 o'clock tomorrow morning, we bring in that chance of rain. As we head north into North Idaho and the Northeast Mountains, we have a better chance of wet weather in the morning. But I really think if you see some rain and snow mixing in, it will not be around long. We'll be turning all to rain, and the chance of rain picks up as the day goes on. By this time tomorrow, we're not completely dry, but the steady precipitation will be sinking off to the south and east, and we will be left with more showery precipitation. We'll also be left with windy conditions. Here's our forecast wind gusts, and it is going to be breezy overnight tonight with wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour. But as we get into tomorrow afternoon, those winds will be picking up, especially in the Columbia Basin, with wind gusts in the 30 to 40 mile per hour range. They'll die down a little bit tomorrow night, but it's going to be windy again on Wednesday. Overnight lows tonight will be above freezing throughout most of the region. A couple of exceptions on the map, including Colville and Omak, 29 in Winthrop tomorrow morning. Highs, however, above freezing everywhere and lots of 40s, including Bonners Ferry, Grand Coulee, and Wenatchee. 47 in Moses Lake and 46 tomorrow in Ritzville. Will be in the 50s tomorrow in Lewiston and the Tri-Cities. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Windy on Wednesday, but I think we're going to see some sunshine to go along with that. 42 for a high. We're going to keep the above average temperatures going through the forecast. Only a slight chance of showers on Friday, with more wet weather possible a week from today. Overnight lows will be down below freezing most nights, even though our high temperatures will be above. As I mentioned, this trend of 40s is not going to last forever. I'm seeing some colder, more wintry weather in the 7 to 14 day forecast. I will be back with that in the next half hour, Aaron.
Chris, thank you. Washington could become the first state to adopt a new approach to stop domestic extremism.
King 5's Julie Calhoun explains how lawmakers plan on cracking down on violent extremism with a public health approach.
What have I done wrong? Have I broken the law? Let's make it easy for now. Why am I living in the communist states of America?
Newly released body cam footage shows the moment Seattle police arrested a man for allegedly harassing and threatening Representative Pramila Jayapal outside of her West Seattle home.
I know that Pramila you all lives here. That's why I'm doing this. You have anything?
48-year-old Brett Forcell is charged with felony stalking. Witnesses say he drove past Jayapal's home 3 times, yelling obscenities and threatening to kill her. Court documents say he was armed with a loaded handgun, which can be seen in the video. With threats against elected officials and violent extremism on the rise, Washington's Attorney General's office authored a 31-page study with recommendations on ways to prevent domestic terrorism and hate crimes. The study requested by state lawmakers like Representative Bill Ramos.
Why now is it becoming more of a problem than it was previously?
The AG study recommends a violent extremism commission, a bill to establish it currently making its way through the legislature. And if passed, would make Washington the first state in the nation to target extremism with a public health approach.
People are just acting out with violence versus talking about a problem and working towards a solution.
The commission will look at solutions to combat disinformation and address early signs of radicalization. This comes as Washington state ranks 5th in the nation for the amount of white supremacy propaganda spread, according to the Anti-Defamation League. And at least 16 people from the state charged in connection to the January 6th attack on the U.S. Capitol.
We want to figure out how to prevent before it happens. Because once the violence happens, everybody's going to suffer the consequences.
Well, the bill is currently in committee. If passed, the commission would be made up of representatives from diverse groups and report back to lawmakers with recommendations in 2 years. A busy stretch of I-90 is going to close this weekend. Find out if it will impact your plans. Coming up on 4 News Now.
And why paying for a middle seat at AMC will cost you a little bit extra. Coming up.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
With New Year resolution goals in full swing and a variety of fun classes starting now, there's never been a better time to join the #1 voted best gyms.
4 News Now is brought to you by End the Violence.
All right, it's going to be another good day. Hey, it's cold out, you guys. Families are freezing. They deserve better than that. Let's show them how business should be done. All right, guys, have a great day. Need anything, let me know. Okay, Fixed Rider is free, baby. You know Zags are going all the way this year, right?
Yeah, I do.
Big day. No heat calls, right? We haven't been voted #1 for nothing, you guys. We've worked really hard to earn these customers' trust, and let's show them that we are the best company in town, okay?
Looking for some fun? Then come play for the day at the Coeur d'Alene Casino and discover new ways to win big inside the new Discovery Den, the first and only video game testing room in the U.S. with many of the top manufacturers in the world under one roof, where you get to play them first and decide which games stay and which ones don't. You will set the trends for the future of gaming, only at the Coeur d'Alene Casino.
Welcome home.
Welcome to Coeur d'Alene Honda, home of the lifetime warranty.
Well, hi. Hey, I'm looking for a new Honda, but I heard some dealers are charging outrageous prices.
At Coeur d'Alene Honda, we're not doing that. With us, it's business as usual.
That's a relief.
And we include a lifetime warranty at no additional cost.
We are a family-owned dealership, and our reputation is far more valuable than overcharging our customers.
We want to be here for you today, tomorrow, and in the future.
And don't forget about our lifetime warranty.
Call today for our available inventory and check out our website at cdahonda.com.
LeBron James, Michael Strahan.
You're on the verge of breaking one of the most iconic records in sports. What does that mean to you?
The morning after LeBron makes history. See the interview with LeBron.
Oh, my goodness.
Only on Good Morning America.
News Now is brought to you by All Lines Insurance at alllinesinsure.com.
An evacuation order in East Palestine, Ohio after Friday's massive train derailment. The order to evacuate came as crews worked to avert a catastrophic tanker failure and explosion. Roughly 10 of the 100-plus cars that derailed were carrying hazardous materials, and if an explosion occurs, it could spread toxic gas and send deadly shrapnel up to a mile away.
The danger's so serious that the sheriff warned residents they could be arrested if they refuse to evacuate.
Never in my life that I've ever imagined this to happen. It's just sad. Sad.
Marcy Beers talking about the state of her hometown, East Palestine, Ohio. On Friday night, roughly 50 Norfolk Southern rail cars derailed. Investigators say there was a mechanical issue with the rail car axle causing the crash. And last night, the situation got worse as Ohio Governor Mike DeWine issued an urgent evacuation notice for residents within a 1-mile radius of the site, including some homes in Darlington Township, Beaver County.
I'm a veteran. I've faced a lot of things, but this is for real. This is a threat to everybody. This is a threat to everybody, especially the brave first responders that's dealing with this down there at the site.
Roger Walker has spent the last 3 nights in the evacuation shelter here at East Palestine High School. He says it got more crowded last night as people were forced to leave their homes. The urgent evacuation release citing a drastic change in temperature in one rail car, which investigators say could lead to a possible explosion, sending deadly shrapnel as far as 1 mile.
You don't know what's going to happen. Like, you're just waiting to hear something to explode. Like somebody knocking on your door now telling you, hey, they're moving the radius further. You guys got to go. So it's just like a waiting game.
President Joe Biden says he is getting ready to deliver the annual State of the Union address. The president tweeted a picture of what appears to be his draft of the speech inside a binder. Mr. Biden is set to address Congress tomorrow night at the U.S. Capitol. The annual address will provide Biden the chance to highlight key priorities and agenda items. This year's State of the Union will take place with Republicans newly in control of the House, a position of power the party is using to launch congressional oversight investigations aimed at Biden's administration. You can watch the president's State of the Union address right here on ABC. 4 News Now starting at 6, following 4 News Now at 5 and World News with David Muir at 5:30.
The issues keep piling up for New York Congressman George Santos, now being accused of sexually harassing a prospective staffer. Derek Myers filed a police report and a complaint with the House Ethics Committee. In the complaint, Myers said Santos touched his groin during a private encounter on January 25th and invited him back to his home. Myers says he declined the invitation and his job offer was rescinded a few days later. Santos denies the allegations. The congressman said the reason he withdrew Myers' job offer was an ongoing wiretapping case from when Myers was a news reporter in Ohio.
New at 6 tonight. People who have 1 or 2 alcoholic drinks a day lower their risk of developing dementia. That's according to a study published in the journal JAMA Network Open, but doctors say don't rush to the liquor store just yet. Researchers in South Korea studied nearly 4 million people, and they found those who said they had 1 or 2 drinks a day consistently over time were up to 21% less likely to develop dementia than people who never drank. But also, drinking too much can increase the risk for dementia. It can also contribute to other health issues like digestive problems, heart and liver disease over time. And according to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, you should limit your alcohol use. We have much more coming up tonight at 6:30.
Including why you shouldn't expect a large tax return this year. That's coming up. Search and rescue missions continue in Syria and Turkey following a massive earthquake. How a local woman plans to help. Coming up.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
It's Falco's biggest end-of-season closeout sale ever. EnviroFire wood, gas, and pellet-burning fireplaces are in stock and on sale. Display and demo models with over $1,000 in savings. Don't wait until next season. Get the best deal of the year now at Falco's. EnviroFire fireplaces are in stock and installation appointments are available today. Ask about special financing and clean air discounts too. Falco's EnviroFire closeout sale on now. 9310 East Sprague, Spokane Valley.
We've been in the Spokane community for 4 generations, and for nearly 80 years, we've seen many of our local competitors come and go.
But it's always been our focus to put our community, our people, and our customers first.
It's never been about just selling cars. It's about you, our extended family.
From our family to yours, from one generation to the next.
We're passing down these values.
Because that's the Wendell way. Wendell Motors, drive for generations.
It's time to replace your old tub with a new shower. But you don't want the hassle or the worry of getting it finished. You just want to pick a style and relax, knowing that it'll be wonderful when it's done. Is that too much to ask? No, actually it's not. Rebath, from start to stunning. Call us or visit rebath.com and save $1,250 off your complete bathroom remodel.
What's going on at some Waffle Houses?
Waffle House gone wild.
Next, Inside Edition. Chaos, violence.
Anything gets thrown if it's not bolted down to a table.
The steps the restaurant chain is taking to keep everyone safe.
This is Waffle House Security.
Then, behind the scenes at the Grammys. Beyonce versus Adele. Who will make history? Next, Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7. Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
This is the aftermath of a 7.8 earthquake that killed more than 3,400 people in Turkey and Syria. The devastation is being felt across the world, including in Spokane. People are anxiously waiting to hear from their loved ones.
Our Vanessa Perez sat down with one woman who has ties to Turkey and even lived through an earthquake in the country in 2011. At 6:30, she joins us in studio with a look at help that's on the way.
Such a devastating scene out of Turkey and Syria. People are waiting to find out whether their family and friends are safe. Teams have launched search and rescue efforts to find victims.
A terrifying scene out of Syria as a building collapses before people's eyes. The devastation felt in Spokane by people like Rezvan Mohammadi, who works at World Relief. Mohammadi has ties to Turkey. Her family lives close to the cities hit by the earthquake. They're safe, but she's concerned about friends who have yet to text her back.
Turkey is not my country, but because I lived over there for many years, so it's like my home country. And I am really worried about all the people over there.
Even living through a 7.4 earthquake herself, seeing the tragedy unfold once again is heartbreaking.
Everything that I had in 2011 that we lived in tents for 3 months, all of them are came in front of my eyes.
New videos show rescuers removing this child from the rubble in Syria, a country that's been devastated by civil war. It's the most powerful earthquake to strike the region since 1939.
We need support
from immediate support from anyone who can support.
World Relief has partners on the ground bringing help to people affected by this tragedy. Some 45 nations, including the United States, is sending support too. Mohammadi plans to start a fundraiser tonight to send help to her friends and people in Turkey. You can visit our website, kxly.com, for more information. Live in studio, Vanessa Perez, 4 News Now.
Thank you, Vanessa. A live look over Spokane right now, and it is a dry night, little bit breezy. This time tomorrow, a very different scene. Wet and windy weather on the way all day on Tuesday. Temperatures, however, will be very similar to what we're seeing today. It's 40 degrees in Spokane right now, upper 30s in Coeur d'Alene, St. Mary's, and Pullman, 47 presently in Lewiston. It's 37 in Bonners Ferry. We will be bottoming out above freezing in most locations, but especially right around the Spokane area where we are still at 43 in downtown. It's 44 right now at 9 Mile and 42 in Liberty Lake. Let's take a look now at our forecast rain. Starting off at our current time, there is the possibility of some light rain showers yet this evening, mainly north and east of the Spokane area, and they will not amount to much. Here's 9 o'clock tonight with a little bit of light rain in progress. But the main event comes in tomorrow, and it may start off as a rain-snow mix, especially in North Idaho and Northeast Washington. But for the most part, snow accumulating will be limited to the higher terrain. As we go through the day on Tuesday, we may get a couple of breaks late morning. Here's noon, but the heavier rain is coming in the afternoon. This time tomorrow, we'll still be seeing that precipitation in progress with some impressive rainfall totals, especially look at Spirit Lake with a ½ inch of rain. It is going to be a windy day, wind gusts up to 40 miles per hour. Those winds will be peaking in the late afternoon and evening. Temperatures start off in the mid-30s and then increase from there. That above average temperature trend will continue through the 7-day forecast, and then there's some changes to tell you about in the extended outlook. That's coming up in just a few minutes. Kirsten.
Thank you, Chris. New at 6:30, Idaho Governor Brad Little's proposed scholarship program barely made it out of the House with a 36-34 vote. If approved, the Idaho Launch Initiative would give high school graduates a minimum of $8,500 to help pay for college and training programs for in-demand jobs like welding or plumbing. It now heads to the House for a vote.
If you plan on driving on I-90 between Division and Freya this weekend, you'll need to make changes to your commute. WashDOT plans to close the freeway in both directions between Division and Freya. It's so they can remove the Magnolia Street pedestrian bridge. I-90 will close this Saturday starting at 8 p.m. It's expected to reopen by 8 in the morning on Sunday. To see the map of detours and lists of closures, or list of which ones will be closed, the on-ramps, look for this story on KXLY.com.
Well, here's what people are clicking on most on KXLY.com. Some Washington lawmakers want to limit right turns at red lights in certain areas. And if passed, drivers could no longer make the turn within 1,000 feet of designated places like daycares, public parks, and hospitals. Supporters say the bill is a small step in the right direction to keep families safe. Critics, though, want to keep traffic moving and say more planning still needs to be done, but they do understand the importance of safety. The bill would go into effect on July 1st, 2024. There's no word yet on when a vote will be held. For more information on the bill and the rest of today's top stories, go to KXLY.com.
A new at 6:30. Soon you'll have to pay a little extra to get a middle seat at AMC theaters. The movie chain has announced it's introducing new ticket pricing options. There will be 3 options: standard price, which AMC says will be for the most common seats. If you want a seat in the middle of the theater, you'll have to pay a premium price. If you'd rather save money and get the cheapest seat, the front row will cost you less than a regular ticket. The new prices are set to hit all AMCs by the end of the year.
Well, it's tax season, right, Aaron?
It sure is tax season, and whether you do your taxes yourself or hire a professional, navigating the tax system can be complicated and stressful. If you want your return as soon as possible, you want to make sure you file online. The IRS is warning to be prepared for smaller refunds than last year because many COVID-related tax perks have expired. Experts say a large tax bill or an outsized tax refund may be signs that you need to change your number of tax withholdings.
Keep in mind if your lifestyle is changing or has changed, like you got married, you got divorced, you had a child. These are all things that can affect your withholdings.
When choosing a tax preparer, look for a credentialed certified public accountant or tax attorney and be sure they have a personal tax ID number. If you get a tax refund, experts say use at least some of that money to pay down credit card debt. With credit card interest rates now averaging 20%, paying down debt quickly is a good return on your money.
Gas prices are down around the country. The national average for a gallon of regular is $3.47, down 3 cents from last week, but up 8 cents from the same time a year ago. Washington's average price is still higher, though, at $4.13, according to AAA. Spokane County is sitting at $3.63 per gallon. So if you're going to Idaho anytime soon, you may want to fill up there. Kootenai County's average gas price is 40 cents lower at $3.23 per gallon. Idaho's average is $3.59.
After the Gonzaga Bulldogs' latest loss, they took a tumble in the latest AP poll. Coming up in sports, Alex Crescenti shows us how they fared after a disappointing weekend.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Bill's Heating and Air Conditioning.
What is a jewelry design center? It's a diamond superstore, a center for engagement rings, wedding bands, and anniversary rings, a showroom with unique creations as well as award-winning designers, a fun, comfortable, no-pressure place where you're free to make big, small, or even no decisions at all. We are not your average jewelry store. We are Jewelry Design Center, and we want to be your jeweler for life.
There are a lot of ways to deal with a stubborn drain. Call us at Mainstream Plumbing. Our high-definition LED camera can go where no plumber's gone before, deep inside your sewer lines to find the root of the problem. Call 866-411-ZAP.
Dear All-Wheel Drive, let's show the road what we've got. Snowy streets, we're coming for you. Icy grip, we're holding tight. Wintry mix, meh. Safety's the name of our game. Yours. Toyota all-wheel drive sedans.
Every new Toyota comes with Toyota Care, our no-cost maintenance plan with roadside assistance. Visit your local Toyota dealer to learn more. Reserve yours at toyota.com. Toyota, let's go places.
The Move Fitness gyms are on the move. Let's go! With New Year resolution goals in full swing and a new gym opening soon in Spokane, there's never been a better time to join the #1 voted best gyms.
And jump, spin, swim, and work out to be the best you can be in 2023.
Move Fitness.
Online Romeo or ripoff artist. Tomorrow we expose romance scammers.
We will look into the lies they tell to trick you out of your money and the #1 way to avoid becoming a victim.
Tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest starting at 5 a.m.
Next, E.T.
I'm Trevor Noah, and this is E.T. at the Grammys.
We're taking over music's biggest night.
I just have a great time with these things.
The history-making winners and performers.
I got something for them.
Plus, our backstage exclusive and E.T. style. Secrets behind all the wild Grammy glam.
I don't like to tempt fate.
Next, E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
Above average temperatures continue after a mild weekend. It was 41 today, 32 to start the day. Both readings above our average highs. Almost 5 o'clock on our sunset time. It will be in the 5 o'clock hour tomorrow. All signs pointing to spring, except once we get beyond the 7-day forecast. Here is the temperature trend for the next 7 days. This white line is average. It will be up close to 40 degrees by this time next week, 39. We will be in the 40s through the 7-day forecast and even trending up this time next week. Then it looks like a system comes through Monday that is going to bring back a taste of winter. Here's a look at the outlook for February 14th. A Valentine's Day treat through February 20th, a strong signal of below average temperatures. Here we are in these medium, even dark blues over the western United States. Precipitation not as much of a slam dunk, but we are in that light green, indicating at least a hint toward above average precipitation. And that is certainly what all of the long range forecasts have been saying for the February, March, April time period. Below average temperatures, above average precipitation. But those below average temperatures so far have been hard to come by. Meanwhile, tomorrow it is going to be wet. We are going to start the day off with a chance of precipitation, 30% chance, and that is when we have the best chance to see a little bit of snow mixing in. It should not amount to much. Then our odds of wet weather jump in the late morning, early afternoon, up to 100%, and that will be in the form of rain, snow level increasing above 3,000 feet. Things taper off a little bit in the evening, but we will not be completely dry in Spokane until we are into tomorrow late night. Meanwhile, our Tuesday winds, it is going to remain breezy through the day, but really those will be peaking in the late afternoon and early evening. These are sustained winds. Wind gusts will be even higher than that, in that 30 to 40 mile per hour range. Not enough to cause any sort of widespread damage, but just enough to make it even more unpleasant to be out and about. 24 hours from now, here's our forecast. The front will be moving off to the east. Then we have some high pressure building in. It is going to remain windy on Wednesday. However, we will be drying out and may even see a little bit of sunshine, and it won't be quite as windy as Tuesday. Here is your planning forecast. Partly sunny on Wednesday. Windy conditions. We are going to stay in the 40s through the 7-day forecast. A slight chance of showers from a weak system on Friday, and then I think this rain on the way on Monday is going to signal a system moving through that it will change everything and drop those 40s back down into the 30s. Aaron.
Chris, thank you. China says the White House is overreacting for shooting down what they say was an unmanned civilian balloon that was found in U.S. airspace.
ABC's Aika Joshi explains why this might not be the first Chinese balloon to soar over the U.S.
Today, critical search and recovery efforts continue as Navy divers continue to find some remnants of that Chinese balloon the Pentagon says was on a spying mission over the U.S. The balloon was shot down off the coast of South Carolina Saturday by an F-22 fighter jet using a Sidewinder missile.
Rank 1, splash 1. That is a take kill.
Pentagon officials saying they tracked the balloon's every movement as it passed over sensitive military installations, first entering U.S. airspace over the Aleutian Islands in Alaska, then re-entering the country in Idaho and passing through Montana, South Dakota, Nebraska, Missouri, and Kansas before flying down to the Carolinas where it was shot down. The debris scattered across 7 miles of shallow water. China responding to Pentagon allegations the balloon was gathering intelligence, saying it was an unmanned civilian airship and that they'd lost control of the balloon. Beijing accusing the U.S. of overreacting. The Pentagon now pointing to another balloon seen flying over Colombia and Venezuela. Experts say China and the U.S. spy on each other frequently and that there was value in waiting to shoot down the balloon.
They're collecting different types of intelligence that come off its movements, how it's maybe communicating with the satellites.
And now military leaders say other balloons were not spotted by NORAD during the Trump administration because of an awareness gap that needs to be figured out. That could help explain why Trump administration officials had denied being aware of spy balloon incursions when they were in office. In addition to China's response, Beijing says it reserves the right to respond further. No indication what that veiled threat actually means. Aika Joshi, ABC News, Washington.
Here's a look at ABC's primetime lineup tonight. It's The Bachelor at 8, followed by The Good Doctor at 10.
Download the 4 News Now app today.
The savings continue with Bi-Mart's latest savings book, out now and posted at bimart.com. Inside, you'll find 16 pages of store-wide savings, including pantry and household essentials, clearance savings on all quilt sets, and more, plus electronics and pet supplies. Save now with our latest savings book at Bi-Mart, your employee-owned membership store.
You want to know why I call
call South Carolina home? Come on, take a road trip with me. When you look around, you can really get a sense of why I love my home state. From the beaches all the way up to the beautiful mountains, South Carolina's got awesome scenery, cool cities, rich culture, and super friendly people. Of course, the best thing you could do is come down to South Carolina and find your own favorite places. Come see why I love this place.
Are you suffering from neuropathy? Do you experience stabbing pain, numbness, tingling, or burning in your feet? Are you tired of sleepless nights and avoiding life due to pain? If you've been diagnosed with neuropathy or are experiencing pain or numbness in your feet, pick up the phone and call us right now before it's too late. Neuropathy is a very serious and progressive disease where your nerves start to break down. Eventually, it leads to balance problems, falls, complete loss of independence, and often amputation. Our program addresses the underlying causes and doesn't simply mask your symptoms with medication. In fact, many patients start experiencing relief from their neuropathy symptoms within weeks. There's no surgery and no use of prescription drugs. Pick up the phone right now and call the number on your screen to find out if you're a candidate for our neuropathy program that has changed thousands of lives. You don't have to spend another day suffering. Call us today and see if you qualify for the relief you deserve. Do not wait. Call now.
Wow, you guys really are taking the Zags win, you win promotion seriously.
Oh, yes, ma'am. If the Gonzaga Bulldogs win the 2023 National Championship, Bill's Heating is going to be refunding up to $6,000 of people's eligible equipment purchases, including yours.
Well, I hope you win.
Yeah, we got this.
More Americans choose ABC News, America's #1 news source.
Well, after Gonzaga's latest loss this past weekend, you figured the team would slip in the rankings, but the only question was, how far? As the team now has 5 losses in the regular season for the first time since 2016, but that was a squad that still made the Sweet 16, so there is hope for this one. However, the damage in the latest Associated Press Top 25 poll isn't too bad. The Bulldogs come in at number 16, slipping just 4 spots after their overtime loss to the Gales. As for St. Mary's, they leapfrog the Zags and sit at number 15, their highest ranking since 2018. But all of this doesn't really matter in the bigger picture, as these two teams are going to meet in just a couple of weeks' time in Spokane for the regular season finale, as that could very well determine the WCC regular season champion and the #1 seed for the conference tournament. And the Bulldogs will be back in action Thursday evening as they welcome in San Francisco, a team, if you remember, nearly knocked off the Zags just a month ago in the Bay Area. Now, as for the Gonzaga women, they also took a slip in the latest AP poll as they sit at number 23, down 6 spots from the previous week. The Bulldogs split this weekend series out in the Bay Area, falling to Santa Clara by 5 on Thursday, which snapped their unbeaten conference record. But then they followed it up with a nice rebound game at San Francisco. And with just 5 games left in the regular season, they find themselves tied with Portland atop the conference standings. But that won't last long, because the Zags and the Pilots face off on Saturday afternoon as the Bulldogs narrowly won their first matchup in Portland earlier this season. And the Eastern Washington men are continuing their impressive run as they extended their Division I winning streak to 13 games as they beat Portland State over the weekend. Despite this win streak, though, Eagles will more likely than not have to win the Big Sky tournament in order to make it into the NCAA tournament, but they do have a 2-game lead over Montana State for that top spot, and they can continue to pad their resume as they'll face off against Idaho on Saturday afternoon down in Moscow. And staying in Cheney today, the university announcing current athletic director Lynn Hickey will retire when her contract expires in April. Hickey has worked for more than 50 years in education and college athletics and came to Eastern in 2018 and is one of the first women to play, coach, and administer collegiate sports. During her time in Cheney, she advocated for Eastern to stay at the Division I level and hired 4 head coaches across the 14 sports at EWU. And the Washington State women had a nice bounce-back win on Sunday afternoon, beating Cal 70-60. This comes as they were blown out by Stanford on Friday night. Now, the good news for the Coug fans is in the latest ESPN bracketology, they still are sitting in the tournament, receiving one of the last 4 byes, and they are looking to make a program history 3 straight NCAA tournaments. And the Cougs are going to have a couple opportunities to pick up some top 25 wins as they're going to face off against number 25 Colorado and number 7 Utah this upcoming weekend. But first is a trip to Boulder on Friday evening. Aaron, Kirsten, what's going on over at Vista Stadium?
Ooh, well, looking for a summer job with some sweet perks, Alex? Alex is busy. He can't do this. But the Spokane Indians are hiring. The season starts in April, and there are dozens of positions that need filling in the coming weeks on the concessions team, inside the team store, or ticket sales. You can even apply to be one of the mascots. Ooh. The deadline to apply is this Wednesday. Interviews will begin shortly after.
We have a lot of variety. So if it's something that you specialize in with another job, but you want to try, maybe working in retail or a team store, you know, this is a great atmosphere because it's outdoors, summertime activity, being part of the community.
Start dates are spread out to 3 different days in April, May, and June this year to accommodate high school or college students who may want to apply. And there are also positions available only for those who are 21 and older. For a full list and a link to apply, see the story on KXLY.com.
And before we go to break, we want to remind you that you can watch President Biden's State of the Union address right here on ABC starting at 6. Before this president's speech, you can catch 4 News Now at 5, followed by World News with David Muir.
Stream 4 News Now on your TV for free with the KXLY Plus app.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
A couple of years ago, we started noticing that my mom started to have some cognitive decline on the spectrum of dementia. Yunny and I have had to kind of put our jobs on the back burner to really help take care of my mom.
It's our mom, and there's nothing I wouldn't do for her.
If we had a resource like Walk Cares, that would have been so helpful to ease some of our financial burden. Walk Cares is a program that I think will benefit everybody.
All right, it's gonna be another good day. Hey, it's cold out, you guys. Families are freezing. They deserve better than that. Let's show them how business should be done. All right, guys, have a great day. Need anything, let me know. Okay, Fixed Rider is free, baby. You know Zag's going all the way this year, right?
Yeah, I do.
Big day. No heat calls, right? We haven't been voted #1 for nothing, you guys. We've worked really hard to earn these customers' trust, and let's show them that we are the best company in town, okay?
When we designed the all-new Honda Pilot Trail Sport, we made it adventure ready. With features like off-road tuned suspension, an enhanced all-wheel drive system, all-terrain tires, and Trail Watch. So you can blaze new trails. The all-new Pilot Trail Sport, the most off-road capable Honda SUV ever.
When your back pain is your foot's fault. This is Dean's story.
I had back pain, and I honestly didn't know where to go.
Until a friend suggested the Good Feet store.
She had to explain to me the feet are connected to the back.
And get this.
As soon as I put on those Good Feet arch supports, the pressure lifted off my back. It's like finding that missing puzzle piece. Like, yes, this is it.
Stop by for your free fitting at the Good Feet store.
Why not have the bath of your dreams? With Bath Planet, you can once again relax and enjoy the beauty of your new shower and bath. Our custom-built baths and showers will forever change the way your bathroom looks.
Call today for a free in-home consultation.
4 News Now is brought to you by Granite Concepts of Lewiston.
Coming up on Nightside, a new report finds the world is producing record amounts of waste from single-use plastics.
Plus, dry winter air means even drier skin. We have some solutions to help.
I have a solution for dry winter air. A very wet and windy Tuesday. Rain, snow mix possible in the morning, more likely just rain. It's going to be breezy Wednesday too. Above average temperatures continue for now.
It's good to know. Thank you, Chris. And thanks for watching. We'll be back here at 11 o'clock for Nightside. We'll see you then.
Sign up for breaking news alerts with the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.